we're Mike's on. We got a cat in the room. We got some drinks. I think we're ready to record this, John.
Think so.
All right, cool. Well, hello and welcome to the Dune Minute Podcast, your place to deep dive minute by minute into the cinematic adaptations of Frank Herbert's world of Dune. I'm one of yours, Zach.
My name is John.
All right, and how you doing, John?
I'm tired.
Yeah,
it's
whole day of doing nothing.
Whole day of running some errands and stuff, getting ready for this.
All right, man. Well, this is the I guess the inaugural.
Yep,
that one.
Yep.
Episode of the Dune Minute, and I don't think we're like super settled on that name yet, but it works.
No, I mean I like Dune Minute just because it's plain and everyone knows kind of what that is if anyone's listened to Star Wars Minute or any of the other Minute podcasts. But personally, I like Dune You Have a Minute.
We'll workshop it a little bit. Get the folks at the bar. We'll see what they say.
Yeah, of course.
Our special focus group. So what we're going to be doing here is watching the 2021 Dune by Denis Villeneuve. Did I get that right? Close enough?
Better than I ever would. So yeah,
okay,
I think
cool.
you're good.
Denis Villeneuve, minute by minute, and just explaining what's happening, talking about it, giving you some of the backstory into the lore of things, and hopefully making it a better viewing experience. I don't know if you looked at how long this movie is.
I think part 3 will be out and available to stream at home before we even come close to finishing this movie. Yeah. This first movie. So,
not to.
There's a lot.
Not to go ahead and cast a lot of doubt on this venture before it really even starts, but fuck, it's a lot of minutes, man.
Yep. There's just a few, but we've already got some friends that we've tapped for some future episodes and stuff to bring on to make this fun for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, yes, the logical place to start is minute 0. And I know you asked before we started watching these minutes whether or not we wanted to start at the blank screen before the logos. And I said, yes.
I mean, if we're going to start, we're going to start with Sardaukar, right?
Absolutely. So, minute 1 starts with a black screen and ends with a voice yet to be identified saying, "Sun is low."
But I think it's more important. Dreams are messages from the deep, Zach.
They are.
I don't know if you know, there's a few dreams in Dune. Just a couple.
Yeah.
I really like how the movie just starts with just the deep, almost Tongan throat singing that the Sardaukar language is based off of and everything. It's important to understand the significance of the Sardaukar, but the movie, if you don't know what you're getting into right off the rip, is just like, what the fuck is this? So I think it definitely sets a good tone for the entirety of everything, because what the fuck is this to anyone that doesn't know anything about Dune is probably the first thing that you think when you watch the movie the first time.
Absolutely. Now, I believe this, the Sardaukar language was something new for the 2021 Dune.
Yeah.
This was not in Lynch's Dune, that type of language. It was not in the sci-fi series that I remember, at least. So this is the fact that is the thing that opens up the movie, just that that is crazy. That is a very bold opening, but I loved it.
If I remember correctly, the person that made the languages for Dune, his name's David Peterson. He also made the languages for Game of Thrones. So the Dothraki and the Valyrian languages there. So I think it's really cool that you get the same guy that makes some really iconic stuff for Dune.
Yeah, absolutely. So yes, dreams are messages from the deep. I wonder if that will have any implications for the rest of the movie.
Nope, not at all.
Never comes up again.
Nope.
All right, cool. Then we go on to our WB logos, followed quickly by some. I wrote Jimbe ? On my notes.
Hold on.
Okay.
So you have not one, but two within like 5 seconds WB logos, and I get it, right? They're playing off of the water tower and everything like that, but like we get it. We get that Warner Brothers made this movie, and then Legendary gives us a logo, and then another Legendary logo, and then WB and Legendary present. Do you think the movie was made by WB and Legendary?
I think they want you to believe that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. We get it, right? Let's get on to the stuff that we want. And what I want is a giant sandworm.
That is many minutes away from now. We'll get there in 4 months.
But yes, there is the hard strikes of a djembe right up front that does slowly kind of fade away for, as you said, a now unknown voice to tell us that Arrakis is so beautiful when the sun is low.
Yeah, absolutely. This movie is beautiful. Like these are seriously some like fucking beautiful movies.
Yeah.
The cinematographer, and I should have written down the name of the cinematographer, but they did amazing work. Just the imagery of this spice rolling over the sands is just wonderful. Oh, well, something rolling over the sands. We don't know what it is. We don't know what it is yet, but I think it's spice.
Something about spice is important with this.
In the background here, we hear a thump, and would you guess it? It's at 40 beats a minute, John. I busted out the metronome and I checked. It starts off at 40 beats a minute. I don't know if that holds any significance, but I thought it was an interesting point.
No idea. I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like 40 beats per minute is slow enough to like add some tension between each of the strokes of the what we will learn is the thumper, but as of right now, it's just some random bumps.
Yep.
Maybe it's someone just falling down some stairs. I don't know.
It's a very slow fall. Yes, and then we have My Planet is So Beautiful When the Sun is Low.
My Planet Arrakis is
Planet
so
Arrakis,
beautiful.
Excuse me. Yeah, and that's the end of the minute. So I think most of this one was taken up by all of the logos and the introductions and everything, but still a lot of good tone setting.
I timed it out. It's close to 30 seconds of logos.
Okay.
So there's not a lot of substance here with this one, but that's okay, because if Dune is known for anything, it is substance.
It's true. And at least we've escaped or mostly escaped the era of doing all of the credits at the beginning of the movie. We can just dive into it.
Yeah, it's weird going back and watching the Lynch film and seeing like 5 minutes of produced by, directed by, shot by, starring all in the front. And personally, I think that has a space in some films. Sci-fi is not the space for that.
No, absolutely not. Especially one with such a dense, this is such a dense story to get through. We need every second of this movie. Honestly, we needed like four more hours for this movie, but I think 2.5 is about all people can comfortably sit in a movie these days.
Yeah, it makes me sad that we won't get a extended edition like we had with Lord of the Rings, but
is Denis like staunchly against the director's cuts and releasing stuff after the fact?
I don't know if it's him or if it's WB, but I hope it's something that's reconsidered later on down the line. I think it would be great to get even in incomplete formats like it is with some of the Lord of the Rings content, where you can tell that like not all of the VFX are truly there or anything, but just to see like what that vision was for some of the things that did get cut, would be really great.
Yeah, I agree. All right, well, anything else for this minute?
This is a very, very sparse minute, but there are very, very few of those going forward.
All right, cool. Well, before we end this one, I just wanted to cover a couple of things. Again, this is doing a minute by minute format. So if you're following along with us, I hope you're not watching the movie minute by minute. That would be crazy. But we'll do that on your behalf. We've also mentioned a couple things, a couple of different sources. We mentioned the 1990 or
84.
Well, I was talking about the sci-fi show. So the late 90s, I think early 2000s sci-fi channel miniseries, Dune. We also mentioned the 1984 David Lynch Dune. So those are the other on-screen adaptations of Frank Herbert's Dune. Throughout us talking, we're going to be referencing the books. And by the books, I mean personally the 6 books that were written by Frank Herbert. To me, those are like the top tier level of canon. There will be times that I dip into what is maybe like a secondary level of canon, which is the Dune Encyclopedia. So this was a book published by fans of Dune in the 80s. Not part of the official canon of Dune, but it did have Frank Herbert's blessing. So in my mind, it is like a secondary canon, and it is a lot of stuff in there. I mean, they take these little bits that Frank Herbert was really it was really common in his books for him to just mention a name and give no backstory on it and not really say anything else about it. So you just had to kind of pick it up from context clues, if there were any, about certain topics or names or events in the history of Dune. But what the Dune Encyclopedia does is it takes those things and actually fleshes them out and gives them all the backstory that is not in the books. So to me, that is the secondary level of canon. I have not read any of the Brian Herbert books, and I don't have a plan to. So I will not be referencing those.
Correct me if I'm wrong, the encyclopedia not only has Frank's blessing, but also has a foreword written by him.
It does. Yep, it does.
So, it's I would call that more than a blessing, but it's not his work directly. My personal experience with the book is I read it when I was 17. I only read the first one, and I picked up on bits and pieces since. That said, I am far from a literary canon expert in Dune. Honestly, I wouldn't even call myself a film canon expert. I'm just a big old nerd and a big fan of the movies. So,
all right, cool. Well, we're going to get through it minute by minute. Something I want to do for each of the episodes, and maybe we can keep a running tally of this. And I haven't talked to you about this beforehand, so I'm throwing this on you right now. Let's rate the minutes. I want to rate the minute, John. Let's do.
Are we doing like a 1 to 10 scale? 1 to 5? Like, give me.
Well, there's a lot of minutes, so let's do a 1 through 10.
Okay, I would give this if I'm going to be truly objective compared to every other minute in the movie, this is like a 1.5 or 2 Shai Hulud out of 10 Shai Hulud. Just because that 30-ish seconds of logos really does just kind of dump on you a little bit. And, there's not a lot of content here.
It thumps on you said?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, I'd give it a 2.5, something like there. I really like the just the intro. I think it's a very captivating intro to the movie. So a lot of room to grow, but pretty solid start in my book.
All in all, this is just the beginning.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, on that, we will be back tomorrow for the second installment of the Dune Minute Podcast.
See you later.
Bye.